And yeah, it doesn't do too bad, does it? All right. Let's see. Got my big gulp cup here. My lip ring is indeed in. Let's see. I got my chew in. Let's see here. The backwards hat. Look at there. Got my haircut this week. Looks a lot better, huh? And let's see. Judging off of the song that I kind of started this off with, I'm tired of getting pinged, and especially if I'm going to go to YouTube, I'm going to have to keep normal songs out of your guys' hearing, but it helps me kind of stay with the flow, so I always play a little bit of music in the background. But copyright issues and all that, I'm just going to start doing my own intros and stuff like that. So, it is Sunday, November 23rd in the year of our Lord 2025. Coming to you live from FEMA Region 8. It's the Vinny Derry Show. I'm, of course, your host, Vinny Derry. Let's see what we got tonight. We've got a packed one tonight. I don't know how I'm going to keep it under an hour. I'm going to do my best. It should make for some great clips throughout the week. I know that's where I get most of my views. A lot of people don't watch live for some reason. I'd rather watch it live myself. But anyway, we've got the Epstein files supposedly coming out, MTG retiring and what this may or may not mean. We've got drunken shenanigans in D.C. and the child sex trafficking ring, or the pedophile network 764, is finally getting the clout. I wouldn't say clout, the exposure that it deserves. Becca on X, Becca _on_X has been covering this for a long time. I'll touch into it a little more as we go on here. But some of them are finally getting arrested. A lot of people said that it was, you just better finish that up quick. A lot of people said that it wasn't real, that it was something she was making up. And now they're here. Let's see here. We have the return of Israel news and much, much more. I guess the featured stories would be fake Christians trying to start or incite violence in Dearborn, Michigan. And yeah, I guess 764 is the co-featured story. So anyway, as always, let's start off this week's show with our weekly Bible readings. And I've started doing something the last couple weeks where I take notes of what we're covering in church, and I just kind of put my own little definition on it. A lot of it is what pastor's saying, but I kind of simplify it and make it super short so I can read through it quick for you guys on Sunday night. So let's start off with Revelation 3:9 from the Luther Bible, as always. Behold, I will bring against those of Satan's synagogue who say they are Jews and are not, but are liars. Behold, I will cause them to come and bow down at your feet and acknowledge that I have loved you. Yeah. Anti-Semitic right off the bat, huh? The next one comes from 1 Peter 3:10. I'm probably going to take it to 3:14. But for he who, once again from the Luther Bible, for he who desires to live and see good days, let him keep his tongue from evil and his lips from deceitful speech. Let him turn from evil and do good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. For the eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their prayer. But the face of the Lord is against those who do evil. And who is there to harm you if you pursue what is right? Even if you suffer for righteousness' sake, you are blessed. Do not be afraid of their defiance, or be alarmed. And that's kind of the section my notes are all on here. So I'm just going to speed read through here. Try to tag along as fast as you can, or as good as you can. But 1 Peter 3, how to act. Wives shall submit to their husbands, and their beauty shall be their inner self, not their chains or makeup. So, the jewelry, all that. Husbands should be considerate of their wives, respect them as the weaker of the couple. It's not for us to get legalistic with, however. Legalistic in my case here, meaning you don't look at somebody and just assume that they're going too far. You don't know the definition of any of that. And when I say the weaker of the couple, it's physically weaker. I know it's not all that. There is no black and white. But the wife is, in 95% of the cases, the weaker one in the relationship physically. It's man's job to protect your wife. And it's your wife's job to, I guess, make your home a comfortable place. But let's see. Don't be afraid of sudden fear. Respect your husband, but let him push you. Do not let him push you to sin. Give your fears to Jesus. Treat her how you should, so your prayers are not hindered. Which means when you're going to be praying, make sure that you don't have anything hindering you when it comes to your relationship with God. And if you do have something hindering you, tell him about it. It's pretty easy, guys. Treat her how you should. So, okay, yep. Sympathize. Be tender-hearted and, honest. And you will be blessed. For the face of the lad is against those who practice evil. Always be ready to explain the hope that's in us. People will come after us and our faith. Do not let them drag you down to their level. Be gentle and respectful with a clear conscience. It's better to suffer for doing good than to suffer while doing evil. For we are foreign on this earth. Jesus never sinned, was put to death in the body, but was made alive in the spirit. The spirits in prison, the fallen angels, the 1/3 that followed Lucifer out of heaven, as it is said in Jude and Genesis 6, the fathers of giants. Jesus went to speak to them, Ephesians 4:8-10. Christ descended, died, preached to the fallen, then was resurrected after bringing the Old Testament prophets to heaven. The water of baptism doesn't save us. Our clear conscience. Jeez, I need to work on my handwriting. Arrives in heaven. Baptism is the symbol of the flood, delivering us a clean conscience. All the angels, authorities, and powers stand in submission to the Lord. Jeez, I butchered the living shit out of that, huh? But anyway, and you'll understand why I read that as I get into the rest of my show here. Some of it coming right off the bat. The Revelations 1 comes right on with the start of our featured story of fake Christians and J6ers that are showing their true colors, such as notably the Christian hero Jake Lang. Let's see just how fake this supposed Christian hero is. Oh, look at there. I got a beautiful little picture for you guys here. Since it's in my hand. Just remember, I got stickers. $2. It's a fundraiser. Please help me out. Look at there. Yeah, he's a Christian, isn't he? Kisses the wall of those that deny Christ. Okay. Let's see. I got something else here. I had. Yeah, that's what he's doing there. Oh, well. Yeah, it's the false deal he's doing Dearborn, Michigan. Yeah. Which, yes, I agree that Christians do need to. We do need to stand up and protect our faith and those that are in our faith with us. But notably, he was one of the only insurrectionists on January 6th to actually assault an officer. Funny, isn't it? Yes, I'm reading my notes here. I believe he is indeed leading this Christian charge in Dearborn, Michigan to ignite a larger fire between Christians and Muslims, something the Tiny Hats have been doing since they became the fake Jews. In Khazaria. Look it up. Actually, you know what? I'll do it for you. I'll give you a little history lesson that your school will not teach you. From 650 to 965 CE, a commercial empire formed off the Volga-Don steppes to the east, the Kievan Rus to the west, and Byzantine to the south. During this period, the Khazars, a Turkic people of no real homeland, formed, becoming a centralized buffer zone and trade hub in the region. This region quickly became a religious hub for various cultures to intermix. During this period, a similar but new form of Judea religion emerged from the region with an ethnic group called the Ashkenazis. Let me repeat that. Ashkenazis. Ashkenazi. I don't know how this is hard. Not long after mass religious conversions, the empire fell and was no more. Lineage and migration data indicates that a large amount of the Ashkenazi Jewish diaspora from the region moved further west, where they shared common physical characteristics to the Germanic inhabitants. The culture, morals, beliefs, and traditions were anything but characteristically similar to the indigenous people of the Germanic lands. One region that a large portion of the diaspora settled was in Frankfurt, Germany. One family of note that may stand out to you that immigrated to this region, the Rothschilds, I'll get into them here in a little bit, would later begin their financial empire that would take hold of the Western world. But that is a lesson for another post. And that comes from, let's see here, at True Populism on X. I researched it through AI, and it was doing the same. It was telling the same story. It was just way longer. So I chose at True Populism's post to break it down Barney style for us. But remember what I read to you from the Bible quote and my church notes. This is a psyop. Christians must stand strong and not fall for this falsity. Don't let a fake Christian drive you into violence. Okay? We're the only religion that's above violence. Okay? We're allowed to defend ourselves, but we don't need to do what Jake Long. I mean, who gives a shit? But I want to get it right. Where did I put that paper at? Oh Lord, here we go. Jake Lang. Yeah. Don't fall into the shit that he's trying to do to us Christians. putting us in a war that, which in all reality, we actually have more similarities with Muslims than we do Jews. The Muslims, at least, I'm trying to think of the right words, acknowledge that Jesus was at the very least, a prophet. The Jews believe that he's boiling in human excrement, so shit and piss, for all of eternity. Just remember that. Does that sound like an ally to you? It doesn't to me. So anyway. Oh no, computer. Don't be starting here. Don't be starting this. Okay. So 764 getting fire. BX on X. So BX underscore on underscore X. On, obviously, X, formerly known as Twitter, has dedicated most of her busy life researching and exposing the dangerous child trolling and trafficking Unit 764, which primarily uses Roblox and Discord to catch their victims. I'm just going to read a little bit on 764. BX on X says, if you are a parent who is just now learning about 764, please go read and share this article, which lists warning signs that your kid may be involved. All right, let's click on it. Let's see what she has to say. Oh, what the heck? Where's that? Come on, Becca. Where is it at? Oh, here we go. All right. Yeah, I need to get on a playlist here. I want to listen to the same song over and over again. All right. Okay. Well, let's see. I'll read a little bit of it. It's pretty long, but I guess let's read the red flags part of her Substack. Sudden changes in mood or behavior. Obsession with certain apps or platforms. Unexplained injuries or talk of self-harm. Strange requests or secretive online friends. Interest in, I don't know. This is where me and her might not get along as much. Nazism, occultism, or extreme ideologies. Obsession with past school shooters or violent criminals. Family pets being harmed or acting fearful. Unusual logins or signs of compromised accounts. Law enforcement calls or swatting incidents. Simple ways to protect your family. All right, this is the most important part. I'll read this and then I'll move on to the next thing. I got so much shit to cover tonight. I got to move fast. So, here's how you can take action to keep your child from finding their way into groups like 764 to begin with. Keep talking about online safety. Make it normal to chat about what's happening online. Share personal stories to explain why you're concerned without scaring them. Talk about sextortion at an appropriate age. For younger kids, reinforce the concept of stranger danger. Use parental controls. Teach them to protect themselves. We teach our kids basic self-defense techniques because we know we won't always be around to protect them. Likewise, teach your kids strategies for protecting themselves online. Educate them on grooming tactics to help them identify bad actors. Make sure they are aware of the consequences of sending photos or videos of themselves to online friends. Be your kid's number one advocate. After you talk to your kids about, oh my gosh, this computer pisses me off. Let them know that if anything ever happens, they can always come to you for help without having to worry about being judged or punished. Many child victims of extortion keep the abuse to themselves because they are afraid they will get in trouble if they tell their parents. The outcome is often reinforced by the extorters to keep their victims quiet. Report suspicious activity. So if any of this is going on in your kids' lives, call 1-800-CALL-CALL-FBI. You can also contact the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST, THELOST. Yeah, I'm going to read into that big time. Let's see. I had another thing here, but finally, it's not being called a myth by the powers that be, as Dan Bongino has released a statement that proves it's not a hoax that everybody's been calling Becca's work for the last, 10 years, I believe? But this is Dan Bongino. The director and I, in conjunction with our employees in the field, have emphasized taking down the 764 network, and I want to update you on a couple of the latest cases. For those who might not know, the 764 network is a heinous child exploitation ring that often targets children online, coerces them into acts of violence, self-abuse. I was going to cover that, but I guess Bongino is going to get it for me. Yeah, let's see here. I have a little clip about it here that... excuse me, folks. Just got to find some stuff here real fast. Come on. Yeah, here we go. You and want you to go away. Right. The enemies of humanity. Well, it's great to see the FBI because, again, as much crap we talk about, the FBI on a regular basis here, and I'm not going to stop, but you got to give them credit where it's due, and the fact that they're arresting these people and busting up these networks means children are not being victimized, and you have to celebrate that. It's citizens' responsibility to criticize our government and even make fun of them. Absolutely it is. And we hope we don't get sued for doing so. Thank you for being here with us. And that's good. Of course, she commented on that video. Of all the shows I've been on over the past couple of years, at Harrison H. Smith is my favorite. He was also one of the first. That's why I love Harrison, man. He's always on top of it. But anyway, so I guess just from a dad standpoint here, without having all the tools and stuff that she's outlining, or all the knowledge of that. I mean, just monitor your kids' Roblox accounts. I mean, my kids love Roblox, which I absolutely hate it because these disgusting demons just use Roblox, and they'll get them to send them pictures or video or show them what their house looks like or anything like that. And then they'll send them to Discord, where they can actually have these private conversations outside of the Roblox, outside of the app or the game. And not only is it used for trafficking, but it's mainly used for like violent abuse of themselves, animals, and at school. Because they basically tell them, I mean, it's escalating. First, it's send me just a picture. Send me a picture with your shirt off. Send me a picture with your in just your underwear, or else I'm going to show the rest of the internet the picture of you with your shirt off. And it's a spitball effect, and these kids just start feeling absolutely just imprisoned, mentally imprisoned by these people. Don't just let YouTube and the Xbox or PlayStation, whatever, raise your children. Make sure that you're paying attention to who they're talking to, who their friends are on there, and what they're doing on there. With Roblox, you can look at all the past games they've played. I strongly recommend at least once a week going through that and seeing. I mean, I've seen sexual games on Roblox myself. They're making sex noises. There's naked pictures of women on the little backdrop of the map they're on. Protect your children. Please, for the love of God, interact with them. You created them. They're an embodiment of yourself. Treat it as such. Build a legacy for yourself and teach them a legacy that they can look forward to and be up to. So let's see here. So my next little subject here is I'll start with a little clip from Harrison Smith on this. Let's see here. Where are we at? Come on. Yeah, here we go.
Behavior at the highest level, each one of these traitors to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Their words cannot be allowed to stand. We won't have a country anymore. An example must be set. President DJT. Okay, who should we tell, Trump? Who do you want us to tell? Who should we?
Who do we need to tell?
Why are you saying this?
Just like J6, huh?
You are the one who is in charge of this. Thank you for telling us. You're the one who's supposed to do this. It's called seditious behavior.
And I mean, what I have to say pretty much mimics Harrison. I'm just going to read my little rant on this. But who can start arresting Fauci, Gates, Mayorkas, the Clintons, the Bushes, everyone involved in the setup of J6, etc., etc.? My answer is Donald John Trump. Instead, he makes cute tweets, calls for hangings, and acts tough, like with the tariffs, then does nothing. The people are ready for these arrests, and you just talking about it is making it worse. The riots, the shootings, they get worse because there is no punishment for doing such. Yeah, it blows up all over the news, but nobody actually goes down for it. Since your first term, the first term you had the excuse that the people around you were against you. Well, this time you know what the fuck is going on, and instead of making it better, you're doing the same shit. Designating Antifa and the Muslim Brotherhood as terrorists with nothing to show. His own DOJ is investigating Ed Martin for investigating Adam Schiff. We all know that he's behind a whole bunch of fucking bullshit. So his own DOJ is investigating people for investigating the former DOJ. He doesn't control his own show, and it's never been more blatantly obvious. But anyway, after knocking him down a little bit here, I will give a little bit of a thumbs up on this one. Let's see here. Yeah, so just an example on that before I go here. Donald Trump on Truth Social said, seditious behavior, punishable by death. Then he said, hang them, George Washington would. That's for all the people that were telling National Guard soldiers to not follow orders if they're illegal. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Okay, we all know what you're hinting at here. Right? We get what you're hinting at. We'll call them the left. Like I said, I'm not Republican, but we'll just call them, because it's easier, the left. They always say, like, lawyeristic terms. So you can't say that they said, well, we didn't say not to follow orders. No, you're insinuating. I mean, it's like being with a bipolar woman, like, that tries to get you in trouble by, I didn't do that. I didn't say that. Yes, you did without saying it, and you acted away without acting that way. That's what we're up against. But anyway, the new Epstein documents are released. I'm going to have to scroll a little bit because, let's see here. Emails and communications with high-profile figures. Obviously, multiple emails reference Trump. Steve Bannon, I covered this a few weeks ago. Noam Chomsky and Ehud Barak. A letter from Chomsky praises Epstein as a highly valued friend. Oh my God. Here we go. All right. Who connected him with the former Israeli PM. Emails show Barak's frequent correspondence. Including post-conviction business dealings. Larry Summers. Offensive emails between Epstein and the former Treasury Secretary, and, it must be noted, current OpenAI board member, surface. Summers resigned from OpenAI and left a Harvard teaching role amid the university probe into Epstein ties. Imagine that. So these people are just getting fired. They're just getting exposed, but not having to go to jail, not being on trial. Catherine Rumler, the Obama-era White House counsel, exchanged messages with Epstein pre and during Trump's first term, including a quip that Trump was lucky then smart. Other notables, mentions of Peter Thiel. Imagine that. David Copperfield. Imagine that. David Koch. Al Gore. And a posthumous book by victim Virginia Giuffre detailing encounters. Now, this is the other side of Epstein. Financial and transactional insights. JP Morgan Chase records flag over $1 billion in suspicious transactions from 2003 to 19, including suspicious activity reports dating to 2002. The bank settled for $75 million with the U.S. Virgin Islands without admitting fault. But let's see where this kind of implicates here. Ties to Mossad and Israeli intelligence. The documents portray Epstein as a conduit for funding and networking in Israel's offensive cyber sector, leveraging connections to ex-intelligence figures. Then I'll tell you how. Epstein collaborated with Barak to invest, not Obama, but the former Israeli prime minister, to invest in startups developing spyware, surveillance tools, Tor network monitoring, and router exploitation tech. Barak recruited Pavel Gurvich, an ex-operative from IDF Unit 81, to scout Venture's post-2013 retirement. Leaked Barak emails show Epstein arranging wire transfers to Barak's aide Yoni Karen, an alleged Israeli spy who stayed weeks at Epstein's Manhattan apartment. Who else does this tie into? Links to the Rothschild family. Epstein aggressively courted the Rothschild banking dynasty, particularly Swiss-based Edmond de Rothschild's group, to channel funds into Barak's cyber empire. Epstein dined with Barak and de Rothschild at his New York mansion and arranged a Paris dinner with them and ex-French President Nicolas Sarkozy, though he skipped due to illness. In 2015, the Rothschild's bank signed a $25 million contract with Epstein's Southern Trust Company, or risk analysis and the application and use of certain algorithms tied to Barak's startup, reportedly to Homeland Security. Epstein proposed. All right, let's see here. Let's get into another. Ties extended to Julius Baers Boris Collardi, Barak's CHF 600,000 retainer advisor, and the Rothschild Caesarea Foundation sponsorship of Israel's 2014 Herzliya Cyber Summit, where the Rothschild spoke on venture philanthropy. Remember what I told you about philanthropists? They want you dead. All of them. Nathaniel Nat Rothschild publicly denied any Epstein contact. So how are you gonna just act like it doesn't exist? But anyway, there's also connections to the House of Windsor, the British royalty, which I've already exposed Prince Andrew probably 10, 11 times. But the biggest one, I'm not going to recover Prince Andrew. I've already hit that way too much. But Queen Elizabeth II, a bombshell claim cites physicist Murray Gell-Mann's impression from Epstein's Black Book and Associations. Epstein's clients include the Queen of England, and Epstein had given the Queen financial advice. Gell-Mann attended a 2011 Mindshift conference on Epstein's Island and acknowledged Epstein's funding in his book. The Queen wasn't just there for financial advice, folks. Okay. Everybody knows how inbred and fucked up that whole thing is. But interesting, the Rothschilds. I mean, I'll take that as a win. I mean, we're getting something. It's way late, and it's just a little piece. Like I think I released a video earlier this week where I talked about how they just give you little crumbs, but they leave the big picture out in the distance. They just keep giving you your little goy treat. Just here you go, just a little bit. So anyway, my little take on this is, this is what we need, but it's still not enough. We have names. We have names, for fuck's sake. Like, where's the arrests? Where's the arrests? Like, if just a normal person would have showed up on that list, you would have never heard about them getting arrested, but they would have been arrested immediately. Look at J6. I mean, where's the arrest? Exposing isn't enough, and everyone involved in not only the pedophilia, which is horrendous, it's absolutely, for me, that's the worst part of the entire thing, but also the money laundering. They all need immediate prosecution. J6 style. They're real demons, real criminals, and we're just fucking around. We're talking about it. That's all we're doing. We're just talking about it. We're exposing it. Fuck, I live in a small town in South Dakota, and I can expose this shit. How about the people with power? The people with the power to arrest these motherfuckers, do it! Because we're getting sick and tired of it all. It's time to see arrests. It's time to see change. For a lot of us, this is the last shot. Because regardless of who gets in next after DJT's out, like, a lot of us are facing a lot of shit. So we need stuff to happen now. And I know Trump turned his back on us. I get that. It's more obvious than it's ever been. I mean, for fuck's sake, he told all of those that got him into office that he doesn't want us anymore anyway. Because of these files. It's never too late, Donald. It's never too late. Drop the hammer. Arrest these motherfuckers now. So anyway, we also have MTG retiring. Let's see here. What did I have pulled up for that? Yeah, I was just going to read you something from her friend Thomas Massey. I'm very sad for our country, but so happy for my friend Marjorie. I'll miss her tremendously. She embodies what a true representative should be. Everyone should read her statement. There's more honesty expressed in these 4 pages than most politicians will speak in a lifetime. Ooh, should I read the statements? Jeez. I kind of feel like I should read them. Guess I haven't even read them yet. Let's see here. Here's a little.
Reality is that the political industrial complex of both parties, is ripping this country apart. That not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country. And instead, the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington.
Okay, then why can't you just
to rebuild it? Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026.
Right after you get locked in for your pension, right?
Again, sometime in the future. May God bless you all, and may God bless America. The political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart.
So if you thought that she was actually on our side, you're wrong. You're being played. Oh, holy shit, I just saw that. I refuse to be a battered wife. There is no plan to save the world. No 4D chess game being played. Yeah, there is. It's on the American people is what it is. I think it could be one of two things. Now, we know she's been a major critic on Israel, and is one of what I think there's only like 5 or 6 people that don't accept any AIPAC money. But it could be that she's tired of constantly being threatened. I'm sure she gets a call at least twice a day from people that wear tiny hats that actually run this country. But and just wants peace, just wants to be left alone. Something tells me, however, she may have finally made a deal, and more than likely, she is going to be running an anti-Trump podcast, or she'll still be a loud voice with no power, and it's going to have millions of followers, and that's how she can make her living now, feeding us more Zionist theater. Of course, she made a big insider trading deal on her way out. I believe it was, what did she get, like 20 million out of it? 2 million? I don't know, but either way, she made a big ass insider trading deal, like Nancy Pelosi, that is finally going to retire. Thank God. But Massey is the last real, I wouldn't say anti-Israel, just the truth teller about Israel that exists now. I mean, if we're going along the lines of Zionist theater here, I would probably say this might be the lead up to an MTG and Thomas Massey card in the 28 presidential run. Obviously, they probably won't be able to run as Republicans, so it'll probably be a third party, maybe under Elon Musk's party that he's talking about. What did he call it? The America First Party. But we know that won't go anywhere, folks. We know that ain't going to happen. J.D. Vance is going to be their guy. He's been placed there by Peter Thiel of Palantir. He's been groomed for it pretty much his whole life. So obviously J.D. Vance is going to be the Republican face, with these two maybe possibly running as independents, and it's probably going to let Gavin Newsom win the presidency. Which it doesn't matter. It's all Zionist theater just to keep you engaged. But just enough votes to split the Republican Party. Or maybe she's just sick of this shit. Like this. Yeah, sick of this kind of shit. Look at this. Dan Crenshaw. The fucking DJ himself. DJ Crenshaw. This is what he's doing in his office.
So, yeah. It's good to be on. The EC one's more fun than the rest. The rest are like, the members aren't.
Definitely drunk. And there was another video floating around, maybe I can find it, but there's like 6 or 7 of his, of course they're hot, his secretaries or whatever the fuck we waste our money on people, since our politicians can't answer their own phone calls or do their own fucking job, apparently. But yeah, Dan Crenshaw is not allowed to go on overseas. Let's see here. Banned from international trips after a drunken episode on an official trip to Mexico. I mean, this is an old video, but in case you didn't. Yeah, you got the drunk ass that.
Have you ever met Tucker?
Talking about killing Tucker Carlson. That same guy. Maybe, maybe she is just completely sick of the bullshit in DC, and that's why she's getting out. I don't see that being the reason, because why else would they blow her up so much? And Donald Trump hating on her so much, just like he does Thomas Massie. Donald Trump pulled his endorsement publicly, and now she just retires. I don't know, dude. I'm just speaking my mind on the subject. If we had all the answers, we wouldn't have to do all this researching and try to figure all this shit out. We'll never fully figure it out, probably, but the more people that wake up and realize that it's theater and you're being played like a fiddle, the better. Okay? So next, let's get into the Health Ranger, founder of the Brighteon News Network. He covered this week that your doctor is the most likely person around you to kill you. And I completely agree. This is not a hit piece. I love Mike Adams, Health Ranger. If you haven't heard of him, you haven't listened to him, you haven't researched him, do it. Do it. Above all else, I'll show you at the end of this little sequence the little job I pulled in Walmart this week that I strongly recommend everybody does. And if you haven't checked it out, you need to check out www.vaccine, VACCINE, forensics, FORENSICS.com for anything. You just type in whatever vaccine your children are going to get or that you think you should get. You want to inject poison in you, that's on you. But you type it in, whatever vaccine it is, and then type ingredients and health risks. And it'll give you a whole list of everything that's in that vaccine, and it'll tell you how it is harming you. But anyway, let's see here. Where am I at here? I scrolled down while I was looking at this, and now I'm getting a little lost. But of all the people, this is the Health Ranger on X, or at Health Ranger. Health Ranger. Of all the people close to you, your spouse, your coworkers, your neighbors, your family members, and friends, the person statistically most likely to kill you is your doctor, according to U.S. government numbers. According to 2023 Bureau of Justice crime statistics, based on the 19,800 total homicides recorded that year, and also based on published studies on doctor-caused deaths. Here's the truth about the risk of harm that doctors pose to society. Your doctor is 101 times more likely to kill you than your spouse. Your doctor is 94 times more likely to kill you than a non-spouse family member. Your doctor is 66 more times likely to kill you than a total stranger. The faster you get away from your doctor, the safer you'll be, and your risk of death will plunge dramatically. That's because, of course, doctors claim to treat you with things that actually kill you. Vaccines, prescription pharmaceuticals, like Maha just did with the cheap, what the hell is that called? The weight loss drug. Geez, it's completely bypassing me right now. But chemotherapy, risky but ineffective surgeries, and so on. In fact, across all professions in America over the last century, no profession has killed more Americans than doctors. If all conventional medical doctors were teleported to another planet tomorrow, the number of human deaths on planet Earth would sharply drop the very next day and would stay lower as long as the doctors stayed off planet. This is an irrefutable fact based on published studies and government homicide statistics. Yes, sir. Another thing from Mike Adams, the health ranger. Even if you trust the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza, which reports a total of nearly 70,000 people being killed there since October 7, 2023, understand that according to a rigorous scientific analysis, U.S. doctors have killed as many as 500,000 plus Americans in that same period. Source, PubMed. Your healthcare may kill you. Medical Errors by James G. Anderson and Kathleen Abrahamson. For every bomb dropped on Gaza, U.S. doctors are killing about 7 times as many people in the USA. With vaccines, chemo, botched surgeries, deadly prescription drugs, and other interventions that often have no basis whatsoever in safety or efficacy. In Gaza, the IDF bombs hospitals, but in the USA, state-licensed doctors, run by the same people, carpet bomb patients with deadly chemicals, killing them just the same. Quietly, covertly. No big explosions, no news coverage, just lucrative kickbacks from Big Pharma, while state medical boards rubber stamp their repeated homicides. And I agree. In fact, somebody very close to me, a brother that isn't blood, his doctor knew for a fact that a high blood pressure prescription that she had already given him once wasn't acceptable by him or his line of work. If you go out in the sun using this prescription, it made you dizzy, lightheaded, and nauseous. And it actually put your blood pressure at dangerous levels. So after, 3-4 months on a different prescription, he went back in and she prescribed it to him again. It's in his record. It's all that. But that's the one. That's the new drug on the market. So she gets a kickback for that. It's no secret that most of medical school is learning how to prescribe shit instead of actually learning real methods of getting rid of said ailment. Oh, jeez. But remember to use his vaccineforensics.com next time you think about injecting yourself with poison. Oh, yeah, I was going to show you the video. I encourage all of you watching this to infiltrate the free electronic sections of all stores and do exactly what I'm about to show you that I did. We need to wake up the sleeping. They want to play PSYOP games with us. We, the revolution, the people that actually care about this country, that care about our children, that care about our families, that care about ourselves. We need to do our own PSYOPs. There you go. Only ours are based in truth and fact. That's at Walmart. I did it on 2 or 3 of the computers there. I typed in the COVID vaccine ingredients and dangers to health or something like that. That pulls up a whole list. Every single ingredient and how it's bad for you. Everybody. That's our homework for the week. And I would appreciate it if you would video yourself doing it and please send it to me. I will blow that shit up. I'll send it to every platform I got. In case, unless you'd want to remain anonymous, then I won't do that. But let's not listen to that right now. All right. So that's your homework. As well as, buying a couple of these stickers and do what I did during the last election. I had hundreds of Trump stickers. I just plastered them all over the place. Remember when I was MAGA? When I thought that he stood for, the American people. But it turns out he just stands for what Israel wants. And what his fucking donors want. Just like every other politician. We got sold out by the man himself. But, like I stated earlier, it's never too late, Donald Trump. It's never too late to grab yourself by the big boy britches, realize this is your last shot, and that you are old anyway. So why not do what you said you were going to do for us, for this country? You pretend to be a Christian for your Christian people as well. Instead of getting us into more wars that kill Christians in the name of Israel. With that, let's get into this week's Israel news. Promised the return. I had a change of heart. I wanted to calm down on Israel, and you know what? Because I know this is what they want me to do. They want me to do this, but son of a bitch. Somebody's got to call them out. Whether it's planned or not, somebody's got to call them out. Israel assassinates senior Hezbollah commander in Beirut strike. On November 23rd, the Israeli military conducted its first acknowledged airstrike on Beirut's southern suburbs since the November 2024 ceasefire. Another ceasefire they're going to go ahead and break, huh? Yeah. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described Tabatabai as a mass murderer and affirmed Israel's resolve to act anywhere, anytime to prevent Hezbollah threats. Who's the real mass murderer? Benjamin Netanyahu. For a country so small, you guys sure got the balls to just fucking strike anybody, don't you? Yeah, because you know that you have Big Satan, the U.S., to go to war for you. You guys drop the bombs and we go in and have our people die. For thousands of years, we've been forced into military conflicts, Christians, because of our supposed allies, the Jews. The Tiny Hats. I was just watching today. Oh my god, I can't even remember the name of the movie right now. Oh, no. Come on, go back. Kingdom of Heaven. Even back then, King Bartholomew IV, the leper king, he made Jerusalem a place of acceptance to all. Kind of like what Trump's doing with the Abraham Accords and stuff like that. But literally every single time that we ally with them, it ends up with Christians dying, Muslims dying, and Tiny Hats getting the benefit because of what I told you earlier. Not real Tiny Hats. They're the Ashkenazis that come from Khazaria. And those ones are allowed to be whatever religion they choose to deceive Christians. It's in the Talmud. It's in the Talmud. You know what? Maybe next week I'll just read all the anti-Christian anti-Christian statements in the Talmud. I think, yes, I'm going to do that next week. Yeah. All right. So UN Security Council approves Gaza stabilization force amid Palestinian state debate. On November 17th, the UNSC voted to authorize an international stabilization force for Gaza's reconstruction. Netanyahu reiterated that Israel will block any Palestinian statehood push. Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman told Trump on November 18th that Riyadh would definitely help fund Gaza's rebuild, potentially via a U.S.-Saudi investment forum. However, Israel's concerns over Saudi's F-35 said, fuck you. Domestic and trade tensions, West Bank violence, settler attacks escalated, including an assault on Jabba village on November 17th and a scrapyard arson in Huwara on November 20th. IDF clashed with settlers during the evacuation of the illegal Zer Misgavi outpost. They're still clashing with them, folks. The motherfucking ceasefire was just smoke and mirrors. It was words. Just kind of like Trump does with everybody that should be more than likely on death row, if not public hanging. Trump just talks. Just like Netanyahu deceived you all, saying that there's a ceasefire. Internal security. A shooting in North Tel Aviv on November 23rd injured two near Tel Aviv University in Rahat. A 17-year-old Bedouin was killed on November 20th. Protests against Arab community violence occurred outside police HQ in Jerusalem. The same thing happening in Dearborn, Michigan. They're going to have what they want by 2030, folks, unless we stand the fuck up. I'm telling you. Israel's arms exports hit $14.8 billion in 2024, a record. Yeah, but I don't know what else I can do to open your guys' eyes. Share, like, follow. I clip it starting tomorrow. Share a clip once in a while. And if you don't want to share it so that because you don't have the cojones, you're afraid what your family or whatever is going to say about you, listen to the Bible quote I read at the very beginning of the show. Do not fear to speak the truth. Or you can just live on your knees. You can just live on your knees. They'll get whatever they want. Yep, just go ahead and keep conforming yourself to be everybody's friend. You really want to be friends with a bunch of fake-ass people? I sure as fuck don't. It's time to grow a pair. Males and females alike, and I'm not talking transgender, right? Listen to your heart. It's so easy. We have the world of AI at our fingertips. Instead of looking up football and all that bullshit, spend 20 minutes a day going on to Grok, or I strongly recommend going to Brighteon.ai. It's completely not touched by Google and all that shit. Grok's pretty good, but it's still, touched. Local news for Rapid, Shitty, Spearfish, and Deadwood, South Dakota. This week. While I wait for that to load, I'm going to just show you one little thing. I'm trying to get this cut here. This is my weekly warning about digital ID and how we need to stand the fuck up against it. This is our last stand. If we can agree on nothing else, whether you want to lop your dick off or you want to say God bless America, it doesn't matter when it comes to digital ID. We need to get on the same page. That's something we can all agree on. We can figure out the minor bullshit after the fact. But they're rolling this shit out ASAP. Let's see here. Oh my gosh.
And Israel first.
What? Now it's not going to show up.
Oh no, Mag.
Oh my.
No,
You're going to have to look it up real fast. Son of a bitch. Oh wow. Having a complete crash. What, did my internet go down? Is this still streaming? I'm going to have to do it on here, I guess.
Oh no, MAGA and Israel first are coming for me.
Oh, let's see here. Jeez. Sorry, folks. My computer just decided right now to take a shit on me. Yeah, let's see here.
Is now rolling out in the United States. Yesterday, Apple announced its new digital ID where you
What'd I say?
trackable ID in your phone. Sounds convenient, right? At the same time, UK, Canada, and Australia are rolling out digital ID. UK makes it a job requirement, Canada links it to money, and Australia is rapidly expanding it. Do you really think this is just a coincidence? First, it's your passport. Then it's your driver's license.
Yep.
Then it's your medical records. Then it's your bank access.
They're gonna do it slow.
Control.
They're gonna do it slow.
Over. It starts out as optional until it's mandatory. It's almost as if when our freedoms are taken away, it always starts in the name of convenience.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me know what you think.
And it was all skyrocketed by the Patriot Act, which was a Mossad and United States attack on our own people. Because, you know, Christians dying is A-okay, right? And I'll say this, like I say all the time. My favorite phrase, the one that I started with on episode 1, is, if you don't think this is coming to America, you are not only low IQ, but you're fucking retarded. Because it's already here! Tried warning about this in, June? When I first started? I've been screaming it from the mountaintops ever since. This is something we stand up against now. Okay, so you ask, how do you stand up against it? You call your senators. You call the White House. You call all these people and tell them that we are not for digital ID. Digital ID leads to Walmart being the place that decides if you're able to eat this week or not. When you take your phone, or it's moving into the chip. Yeah, it's moving into the chip. So you're going to scan your chip, right? And that'll bring up your social credit score. And if you were a bad boy this week, well, you don't get food. And in fact, if you were bad enough, they'll just arrest you right there on the spot. Or if you're anti-Semitic and you get pulled over for speeding. Oh, that's something else I wanted to go. Damn it. You get pulled over for speeding. They're going to, make it nice and quiet, because you're not going to protect yourself on the side of the road in the middle of the city. They're not going to get you from your house. They're going to get you in a DUI checkpoint. They're going to get you in you had a taillight out situation. That's how they're going to come after us this time. Anti-Semitism. No, I don't hate Jews. Not one bit. I just don't want them controlling our politics, our media, our music, our videos, everything, our laws. Getting into that, while I'm waiting for, oh my God, while I'm waiting for this, I did have a little story from this week. So I got pulled over this week after people purposely blocked me in a passing zone. So for like 6 miles, I followed two cars going right next to each other that were going about 10 miles an hour under the speed limit. Like, some of us have jobs, some of us have places to be. They called me in when I bullied my way in front of them. So, so finally we hit a faster speed zone, and the hangover must have hit them or something. I don't know, but there was a gap, so I hit the gas and I sped between them, and I pulled in front of the one on the right, and I just gassed it. And these people followed me, like, right on my ass at 90 miles an hour. And then they had the gumption to call the cops on me when you held me back. Like, this is what we're trying to embattle, folks. This passive aggressive fucking bullshit is going to get this country nowhere. Just be a respectable human being. If you aren't in a hurry or anything like that, you want to go drive 10 under the speed limit, then move over and let people by you. How is this such a hard fucking concept to understand? It's basic human principles. Just get the fuck out of the way and don't be a dickhead. It's not my fault that you went and got hammered as fuck the night before and you got nowhere to go. You're just trying to get home. And then you call the cops on somebody. I don't know. Like, when I pass you and then I accelerate to get away from you because I know that you're messed up in some way, shape, or form, and you follow me bumper to bumper at 90 miles an hour, there's some people out there that might just start opening fire at that point. I'm not saying that that's what I do, but I'm saying that is a threat. Okay? Now, that's the real threat. You perform the actual crime, and you're using the police that could be doing something much better. They could be going after real criminals, like you, probably driving drunk. Don't abuse the police, okay? And I will say that the highway patrolman that pulled me over was extremely respectful. He had common sense. He listened to what I had to say, even though I was a little heated. He respected me. And there are good policemen out there, quite a few of them. Just make sure that we work together. Police and the people. Don't abuse the police, and police don't abuse the people. It's a very easy concept to get to. So anyway, let's get into local news real fast, and then I'll sign out of here. It finally worked. So in Rapid City, Sanford Health expansion celebrated. On November 17th, local leaders gathered at the Hyatt Place Hotel to mark Sanford Health's plans for a new Black Hills Medical Center campus aimed at enhancing healthcare access in the region. Utility scam alert. City officials warned residents on November 16th about a phone scam targeting utility customers, and I know that this hit somebody I personally know, urging caution against fake billing demands. Federal meth sentence. Imagine that, Rapid City and meth. Huh? A Rapid City man was sentenced to over 24 years in federal prison on November 20th for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine in the city and on the Pine Ridge Reservation. Water line replacements flagged. Nobody cares. Let's see here. Holiday meal distribution. Feeding South Dakota provided holiday meals to hundreds of families on November 22nd, helping combat food insecurity amid rising costs. That's planned by Walmart and the credit card companies. And the Salvation Army launched its annual fundraising drive on November 21st, encouraging bell ringing and donations across the Black Hills. Blood drive success. The Pistols and Pulaski's community blood drive. Yeah, that's cool. Thank God. If you can donate blood, I recommend it. I mean, fuck, if you donate plasma, some of these tweakers and stuff get paid to do it. Might as well, huh? Be part of the next COVID scam, the next weapon against us. And Spearfish. Fatal crash victim identified. Authorities named 82-year-old Eddie Lee Galloway of Arizona as the victim in a deadly U.S. Highway 85 crash near Spearfish on November 17th. Let's see. Rec Center fee updates. The City Council approved Resolution 2025-54 on November 17th, adjusting fees for the Spearfish Rec Center and library cards for non-residents. I'll give you a hint. It went up. Imagine that. Eagle Ridge Fire Response. Spearfish Fire Department handled an incident at a home in the Eagle Ridge development on November 19th with no further details. Festival of Trees. The 34th annual event at the Spearfish Park Pavilion ran through November 16th, 17th, featuring holiday crafts and displays. Wow, I'm surprised it didn't bring up. All right, I got one last one. Lead Deadwood. Mutual aid fire south of Lead. On November 20th, the Deadwood Fire Department provided mutual aid for a structure fire south of Lead, joining forces with Lead, Spearfish, and Brownsville crews. Woman arrested on warrants. A woman with outstanding warrants was taken into custody. Oh, but they don't say. Move over, reminder, yeah, whatever. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Just wait, there's more coming. Power outage impact. The November 13th regional blackout hit Deadwood hard, silencing casino slots and prompting quick staff response. Some areas like Spearfish were still recovering by November 14th. There will be more as we get closer to winter. And then expect during the winter, even more. They're starting the blackouts because I know for a fact in Wyoming, they are pushing hard for the AI data centers. I guess South Dakota, I saw Dusty Johnson on his page talking about the same thing, about bringing it in here. Let's see here. I'm surprised I didn't say anything. I believe it was Thursday or Friday, though. This is one of the big atrocities in the Rapid City area is there was a fire at Reptile Gardens that ended up killing some of the tortoises and the alligators. I figured this would bring it up, but since my computer's tired and whatever, I pray that the systems at Reptile Gardens are back up and running and that the rest of the reptiles can get comfortable again. I mean, hopefully they can bring some more tortoises in. That's my favorite part of the whole place is the tortoises and the alligators. Makes me wonder how that started. I really hope that wasn't intentional by somebody. If it is, you're pathetic. Disgusting. For whatever means that you may or may not have done it. I don't even know if it is. But to kill animals to make a point, like, fuck you. But with that, instead of giving you 30 sites to follow anymore, I'm going to go ahead and just give you my link me. It's link.me/The Vinny Dairy Show for all of my links, all of my affiliations. I know W Energy is about to become a full-on sponsor rather than just an affiliate. I know W Energy, much safer for you than these bullshit energy drinks or your fattening, poison-infused coffee drinks in the morning. You just take a scoop of W Energy, put 20 drops of methylene blue in that. That'll work better than any coffee you've ever drank, and it'll work better than any energy drink you've ever had for full day, non-fall-off energy. But you can click my link on there. W Energy is 50% off, so you can get a month's supply for, I believe it's $20. So it's like 50 cents a day. How much does your energy drink cost? How much does your garbage coffee cost? It's full of soybean oil and all sorts of other bullshit. And at my www.thealexjonesstore.com/Finmeister33 link, all supplements are buy one, get one. So you can even play the system on that. So you can buy something that's $20 and get the more expensive one free. That must be a loophole, or I don't know what the hell happened, but strongly recommend it. The times are coming to get your body and your mind in shape. Get right with God, everybody. I promise. Times are going to be getting dark real soon. And I pray for all of you. I pray for the people of the state of Israel to find Christ. I don't want any harm to befall any of them. Just quit denying Christ. Find Jesus Christ. And Christus ist König und Gott mit uns. May God bless you all this week. I will see you at the same time, same place next week. Make sure you go to my LinkMe account to see what I'm up to during the week. And until then, I hope you all have a blessed Thanksgiving, and I'll be back next Sunday. Peace.